One eternity later.
All right, guys, big reveal for the FRS.
Jackson Racing Supercharger.
So here is exactly what you're gonna get if you order this kit.
Which is awesome. It's all labeled. Each box has what's inside it.
Everything is super organized. You get a really nice installation manual, which is pretty detailed. You can also download the PDF file on like your phone or computer or anything else like that. But that does come with it.
All of the hoses. It's all nicely packed.
Yeah, everything is packaged individually. All the pieces are separated. Super nice. So we got the pulleys, supercharger bracket, zip ties, and looks like some Loctite, and Gates serpentine belt.
Air filter.
It's actually labeled Jackson Racing too. The oil reservoir, a little funnel.
That's cool. It even tells you how to check it and everything.
It's little details like that. But no, everything is super nicely packaged. The oil reservoir for the supercharger, some Rotrex fluid, funnel, holy hose clamps.
Yeah, this is all like packaged. 3-inch sticky tape.
Yep, there's the oil cooler. Sousa. That's the oil cooler for the supercharger itself.
Oh, and
which is nice that it has its own separate system, so you don't have to run like with the turbo oil from the actual engine.
What is this thing?
There's your intercooler. Smallest box is the best one. Not gonna be breaking any speed records, but
Holy.
at least we'll have something to show. Alright, so we did a little unboxing for you guys yesterday, but today I laid everything out on a table. I almost just walked right into that fucking thing. Hate spiders. Don't want nothing to do with them. But yeah, anyways, laid everything out on the table, on the bench here. Just gonna kind of go over exactly what you get when you order this specific kit, which is the Jackson Racing C30 kit. Didn't go with the C38 because, again, this setup we may have on the car for 2 years if the motor lasts that long, and then we're selling it because LS motor. So we went with the C30 kit because it works better for what we're going for right now. If we wanted to make more power, then we go with the C38 blower because it has higher potential. Everything you get, besides the Ecutech cable, license, dongle, tune, everything like that, that's separate. That's like $1,000. Intercooler. All your hoses that you need for it. Everything is individually numbered, which is awesome. So everything, I'm assuming, is pre-cut to the right size or close enough, numbered exactly where you need to put it. You have the full color installation manual that you get. you have your oil cooler for the supercharger. This is not the engine oil cooler, but we'll be getting that here sometime soon, just for the added reliability. These cars, especially when you push them hard or you go to the track, they're notorious for oil temperatures getting really high, coolant temperatures getting really high. They're just a high compression motor, and that's what happens. But an engine oil cooler will help with all that. All nuts and bolts, fasteners, bushings, all that stuff, all packaged, individually sealed. Nothing is all mixed up. Everything is exactly where it's supposed to be, so you can find it. The bracket for the intercooler and to mount the oil cooler for the supercharger. Your Rotrex fluid reservoir. The oil filter for that. The mounts for that, all the bolts. Your Gates belt, some zip ties, Loctite, your new pulleys that are going to be going on. These mount up to the engine block and then extend everything out so you can actually put this mount for the supercharger on, and it pulls everything away. Gets it all perfectly lined up with the pulleys so you can put the belt on. Got your Rotrex fluid. All the intercooler piping. This bracket, not exactly sure what that goes to yet. You got your diverter valve, kind of like your blow-off valve, except it just, instead of dumping to the atmosphere, this just recirculates all the extra pressure that wasn't needed back into the intake. Your new washer fluid reservoir, harness to extend your MAF sensor. Their high performance PCV valve, some T-splitters, and some more hoses. And that's it. I mean, it's really simple. There's not too much going on with it, which is super nice. And everything is pretty much, I guess you say, plug and play. You don't have to modify anything. You don't have to cut anything, weld anything, mess with the oil pan, anything else like that. So somebody with basic mechanical skills and knowledge, or somebody who's at least willing to go on YouTube and watch a lot of videos, which there's not a whole lot on this. I just had another fucking spider on me. What is happening? Anyways. Okay. Now I'm all paranoid. Anyways, anybody could do this. For the most part. There's some select people out there, but don't pay somebody $1,500 to $2,000 to install this. It'll take you, I would say, they say it takes about 8 hours, but with working on anything, you know that there's always things that you run into, little issues, things you have to work around, which add time. And some people may actually be able to do it quite a bit sooner than 8 hours. It all just depends. But we are going to get started on this. I'm going to pull the FRS into the garage, take everything apart, and then get started. Okay, before we get started, first thing that we actually really need to do is we need to unmarry our flash tablet from the ECU, put the stock tune back on, or the stock map. That way when we do the Ecutech tune for the supercharger, it can actually save the factory file onto there. So we're going to be selling this, but in order to unmarry it, plug it into the OBD2 port. We're going to turn the ignition on, shut everything off, go to tuning, right, original file. And this takes a couple minutes, but basically it's just erasing the tune that I put on it and then putting the stock one back on, the stock map back onto the ECU. You want to make sure your battery's good before you do this. Make sure your car's not going to die in the middle of writing the tune or taking the original file from the ECU, just in case by the off chance you mess anything up, lose that file, things like that. And then you just wait a couple minutes and this will finish up, and then the car will be done, but then you have to actually unmarry the tablet itself from the vehicle. And basically with that, you just plug it into your computer, you pull up I forget what, a race ROM or whatever it was, and then you go through and you actually just erase everything off of the tablet, so it's just a blank slate. And then at that point you can use it on a different car, or you can sell it and they can use it on theirs. The only thing they would have to do is go on and re-download different tunes or the tune that they want, and then they can actually go in and actually adjust their tunes for the pops and bangs, the launch control, different things like that. Turn off power, press OK. Turn on the ignition, press OK. Switch ignition power off for 10 seconds. Start engine, idle for 45 seconds. Now we should be good, but just to check and see, I'm going to see if there's still launch control, and if there is, then something's wrong, but if not, then we should be finished here. Yep, so we're good. Now we will unplug this. This can go back in the house. Fun while it lasted, but on to bigger, better things. All right, now on to disassembling everything. I'm not gonna record removing the bumper, removing the headlights, removing the airbox, anything like that. There's probably hundreds of videos of people doing that, so no sense in me doing it and just making this video super long. This is about the supercharger install. So once I'm ready to start installing all these components, then I'll pick the camera back up, start recording everything, and kind of go through my progress with it. And hopefully it's able to help you guys out in either deciding to go with the Jackson Racing Supercharger kit or any supercharger kit, and just the basic how-to of installing it, because they're all fairly similar. But yeah, next time you see this, it's all going to be disassembled, and then I can start mounting up different things, following the instructions as closely as I can, and we'll get this done today.